I just went to AliExpress.com and I started with a very broad search term. So in this case, because pets are popular and they can go on shirts or sweaters or hats or anything like that, I just typed in dog shirt and then click search. And there's a whole lot of ways you can kind of segment these products. You can either say to yourself, which what I do a lot is, let's not reinvent the wheel in terms of trying to figure out what's popular. Let's just sort on orders right here that's in between best match and newest and see what's been ordered the most in this kind of general niche. And then, as you can see here, like this product's been ordered 1,500 times, 1,228 times, 1,119 times. I know, like for instance, anti-anxiety jackets in the pet niche is actually pretty big. I used to work at a marketing agency, for instance. That's all they sold. I forget the name of the company, but this would be like maybe an interesting product to sell. It comes in 4 different colors, has different sizing, all these things. Even ships from the U.S. or China. Before we kind of proceed with this product, just want to show you one of the other filtering features is that there's a ships from button right here on the right, right next to group similar products. And if you click ship from, you can actually look at items that ship from the United States. So what happens is a lot of these suppliers have maybe like relatives, for instance, that live in the US and they'll ship products out of their basement. Maybe they have a tiny little warehouse, oftentimes in suburbs of LA, where they'll ship out products. So you can click on United States. And obviously the benefit of shipping from the US as opposed to China is the shipping time is a lot faster. The only downside is it cuts into a little bit. So if you can charge a premium or a little higher than maybe normal for this type of product, it'd be worthwhile shipping it from the US. But when you do ship to the United States, you'll see the US flag here, which means all of these products you can ship from the US if you'd like to. All of them always ship from China, in probably 10 to 20% of products on AliExpress, just based off of my kind of basic research, seem to ship from the US as well. So we'll go back to this jacket here. So when I asked you to create the Oberlo extension, the reason why I did that is because you can synchronize a product into your store. So once I'm at the page and I'm like, all right, I like this product, I want to add it to KiwiLoo, I go to the top right corner here where you see this little blue tag, like price tag, and it says AliExpress product importer. So that's Oberlo. So what I'll do is I'll click on that and I click to add to import list. Oh, I gotta log in Oberlo 1 second. So I just go to apps and you just go to Oberlo. You always have to have the app open. Rookie mistake on me there. So here we go. So here's a little dashboard with Oberlo. So I'll show you how this works in a second. So now I'm logged into Oberlo. Get rid of that link here. So I'll try again. Here we go. So product imported successfully. So now I'm going to go to Oberlo because it's synchronized through that Chrome extension. I'm just going to refresh this URL. I'm going to go to import list over here on the left hand column, and there it is. So then what I'm going to do is I have the ability to start changing the product title, description, things of that nature. So the Chinese love to load keywords into products titles because they're trying to, for their SEO efforts on AliExpress, try to appear high on the organic rankings whenever someone types in a product similar to them. But like in this case, I'm probably going to chop it down because this is just a little too many keywords in here. I'll probably call it like maybe a pet anti-anxiety jacket and just leave it kind of there. And then, so that's under the product. So we go to the description tab right here. This is where you can type in wherever you want about it. So maybe if you can cite an article saying that, pets will feel X% more calm in a thunderstorm if they're wearing this jacket, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want to say about the product that you think will kind of entice people to buy it. This is where you can write it right here. And this is where it would appear on the description page when people go to KiwiLoo.com and see the other types of products that have descriptions. Variants. So here's all the different variants. As you'll see, there's China, United States, China, United States, and the pricing. in terms of what it will cost you, what you'll charge the customer under price, and compare that price is if you want to make it look like it's on sale. So ultimately, your cost from China here is $1.69. It's a little misleading because they're not including the rates. So you have to see how it says USPS $3.16. So what you have to do with these US prices where it says United States is you're gonna have to add $3.16 to this price. So let's pretend that we only want to ship from the US just to kind of chop this down a little bit. So I'm gonna uncheck every place where it says China. So I'm just gonna go through this list and uncheck every China variant. Again, more often than not, you're gonna have to just stick with China because they don't offer product shipping from the US on every one. So this is kind of a unique product. This is actually a good product. I would probably recommend enhancing the product description, later on down the road and actually trying to sell this product because people are so fanatical about their pets, and I think it's a good product. So just keep. Yeah, no, I was stunned at how much that I keep blanking on the name of that brand from the marketing agency that sold them, but they sold them like hotcakes. So I unchecked all of the Chinese ones, and now I'm going to assess a price. So you can click on Change All Prices. This is the price you're going to assign. So it costs $3.16 to ship and $1.69 to buy. So let's call it like $5 all in. So if I want like a 75% gross profit margin, we can charge $19.99. So sell it for 20, buy it for 5. So we'll call it like $19.95. And actually, we can just click Change All Prices, set new value, and then that way we don't have to do it manually for all of them. We can just type in 1995 once, click Apply, and and it's okay because they're still unchecked. But so the prices we're going to charge is $19.95. Now, $19.95 is pretty cheap for these. I know that when you go on these type of websites and buy these, they're not that expensive. So we're basically selling them at a deep discount. So maybe although you go on Amazon, you can get Amazon Prime for a product like this. They can charge a premium, so they're going to get a little faster. But the whole idea of the dropship model is you're going to have to wait a little longer, but you're going to get a much better deal. So if you want to kind of illustrate how much this product is on sale, I can go do some research and see that these things are typically selling for, let's say, $30. Probably a little more, but let's just say conservatively $30. So we'll put the comparative price at like $29.95. So that way, when someone goes on the website, $29.95 will be X'd out, and it'll be like on sale for $19.95. So people will be like, sale. And it's true because, again, more often than not, you're going to find these products more expensive somewhere else. Okay, so just double checking, make sure all the United States ones are only checked off. Okay, so then we're going to go back to the top. We're going to click on images. Again, so the suppliers are good about providing images, for clients. So as you can see that this beagle here is checked off, the different color variants are checked off. Maybe I would see where it says, whenever you see a measuring chart, I would check that one off because anytime someone can provide a measuring chart, it's helpful. Maybe another picture of a dog checked off kind of as examples. I think the more examples you can give, and here's looks like user submitted ones to the supplier, so like check that one off. So I always just look. I wouldn't pick up pictures like this because they're a little because you've already seen it in silver. But if you can see like other dogs, for instance, wearing it, because people are always trying to figure out like, oh, will it fit my dog? So in this case, you can try to excuse me, you can try to just try to be diverse in the pictures you choose. So then you can click import to store once you're all done. And it's going to import, and we'll go look for it in the Shopify store, and I'll show you how you can also modify it in the Shopify store as well. So here's the check mark. It's been imported. Pet anti-anxiety jacket has been imported to Shopify store. So I'm going to go into Shopify, so this other tab here for the Shopify store. Going to click on products on the left-hand column, and I'm going to, we called it the pet anti-anxiety. Okay. So I'm going to type in the search bar, pet anti, should pop up. Here it is. So you'll see it says unavailable on 4 sales channels. So we'll have to make it available where applicable. So here's the product, and I'll click on View right here between Promote and Duplicate to give you a preview of what the page will actually look like. So as you'll see, we'll want to change the thumbnail image because that's not the one we want. We want one with the dog in it. But as you'll see, here are the color variants: blue, rose red, dark gray, light gray. The size, there's different sizes for the products. And it ships from the United States. Here's where the description would go if you want to put a nicer description. This is kind of wants to read this because it's just spec information. But as you'll see, it says $19.95, $29.95 crossed out. You save 33%, so that looks pretty cool. So what I would do in this case is I would click Manage and just make sure that it's available in the online store, which it is. If you're synchronizing Google Shopping at the time, and you're using Google Shopping, I will click off Google Shopping, because what happens is Google Shopping is operated by a feed. So I know you mentioned that question the other day about that notification that said they're not synchronized. So that was because there's multiple Google Shopping apps plugged in with the Shopify store, but only one of them was being used. So the other Google Shopping feed plugin app was saying, "Hey, I'm not synchronized. You got to synchronize it." But that was by design. So if you ever want to run Google Shopping ads and you want to send every single product, you just check this and it automatically gets sent to the feed, which automatically means it gets sent to Google AdWords, and then you can kind of choose how aggressively you want to market it. So you can click Done here, and then again you can modify the title, you can modify the description however you'd like. Again, you can choose to move these pictures how you'd like. So let's say you want the sizing chart to go second image, you want the dog to be the first image, you want maybe these other pictures of dogs to go ahead of the different color variants. You can see image order saved. You can choose to do it however you like. You can choose to change the name of the variants if you want. If you don't want to call it light gray, you want to call it like I don't know, like charcoal, or you want to, however you'd like to do it. You have maximum control over pretty much everything that appears on the page. Sometimes what I'll do is, instead of like seeing 43 to 53 centimeters, I'll call that like small, and then medium and large, because there's an XL here. So sometimes the the Chinese suppliers, they do a good job of providing as much information as they can, but they don't necessarily quite fully grasp how things are done in the US from a sizing standpoint. So where they should have said extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, they should have been a little bit more savvy to just assign the actual like letters instead of put centimeters. Also in the US, people use inches. So if you have a global store, it might behoove you to in centimeters. If you have a store that's really just operating in the US, I would probably just change it to inches, which is just a quick change. So those are kind of things you can. Yeah, so it's good to have things uniform. So I think that's one thing to keep in mind. So as you'll see, the sizing chart, they actually put in inches, which is pretty cool. So maybe in a case like this, I would almost update these variants and kind of yeah, so that would work. So maybe in this case, let's say you didn't even want to sell extra small or extra large. You could just sell small, medium, large, and just kind of rely on this sizing chart. So it's really like your call in every kind of step of the way. It's a lot of this is just judgment calls. You can either again kind of convert them yourself, but it's synchronized, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, if I change the size name here or the color name here, it's not going to match up with AliExpress. The variants are already lined up, so you can kind of call them whatever you want on the Shopify storefront once they've already been synchronized. Because the way Shopify and AliExpress work is the AliExpress isn't looking at what your variant colors are or not. It's just the location of which you pulled the variants. So that's why you can kind of manipulate all of this however you'd like. For instance, let's say the supplier says, I'm going to come into stock in 5 days, but I'm out of stock right now. Well, you don't want to lose out on any sales if someone wants to buy this extra small blue item right here, knowing that inventory